And I actually were on a girls' trip, and Tom had texted her while we were having lunch and said that he was shifting to more metaphysical therapy. And I thought, I think that's a sign, because that's where I was struggling, was understanding I never felt like I fit in, why I felt different than everyone else, was that side of it. So that's really where it started, was getting to know myself more and understanding that there's actually a different tribe out there, that it's okay to be who you are. So when I met Tom, that was really where we started our conversation. And he started with, how far do you want to take this? Where do you want to go? And I'm like, lay it on me. I want to know all. Went to therapy many times, traditional therapy. And I would, to be honest, get to the place where you would know what to say. I would just say what I was supposed to say. But the feelings, the not feeling like you fit, the anxiety, everything that was there was still there. You just would play a part. And I don't have to do that anymore. You felt like you never fit in. I always felt like I was different. So coming into the metaphysical therapy part of it and understanding that there was something bigger than you, it's easier for me to put up a defense of, it's just me. Right here, I got to figure it out. There's nothing there. So when I really started looking at the more metaphysical, the intuition, powers bigger than you, without having to label them, really what started changing me. Looking at the synchronicities, not a coincidence. That can't be a coincidence. I think there's things like that, definitely. Signs, songs will come on. I remember the first time I left here, my first session with Tom, and I ended up texting him because when I got in the car, there was a John Lennon song on. I have no idea. I don't listen to John Lennon. I don't listen to a station that would have had John Lennon. I don't even know how the song got on there. The words to the song were focused all around being aware, knowing yourself. And I sat in the car and just listened to this song. And I thought, there is absolutely no way that this came on for me. And I think from that point on, I started researching. I started really trying to shift all of my norms of not being in a rut. I had horrible anxiety, horrible. My face would turn red for no apparent reason, just because I was sitting in a meeting or somebody would ask me something and I wasn't sure. And there would be times where I didn't even want to leave the house. I don't have that anymore. It's just been one thing after the other, just like that. They all connect. There are superpowers out there that you don't even know that you have. The metaphysical side, having faith and the ability to stand up and talk to 200 people that I have to do nowadays is absolutely nothing for me. I cannot tell you the last time I had an anxiety attack. I have had several confrontations that the other person has been crazy, and I sit and listen and realize that that's not to me. Health-wise, I've lost 60 pounds in less than a year. Physically, completely different. It is because of this. I think it's so incredibly powerful when you change your energy, what it attracts. It's definitely not easy. I think that there is always something that is going to be an excuse. You don't know until you try. Do the research, ask the questions, experience it yourself. It's the best way to do it. You're not going to accomplish something because somebody tells you to do it. Try it. What's the worst that's going to happen? I think for metaphysical therapy in general, it's not necessarily by the book. Sometimes I feel like whenever you're going to a standard, I don't know what to call them, therapist, have what they learned, they go through the steps. You're supposed to go through these phases, and if you're not in those phases, that's how you learn what to say and what to do. From a metaphysical, Tom is actually the only metaphysical therapist that I have seen. For me, it's his casual approach. I instantly felt comfortable when I walked in. He's very welcoming, and his approach is one that puts you at ease. He has just the right amount to push you to what he knows you can accomplish, or what you're looking for. And for me, that was what I needed for that extra little step of, almost like support. You felt safe and comfortable that it wasn't going to go someplace else. Metaphysical versus standard therapy, it's not a one size fits all. And I feel like for the first time I was able to sit here and really be honest. There was no judgment. I got to be honest and really explore who I was and what it was that I needed to focus on, where I needed help, and like what was causing my anxiety. Because it definitely wasn't physical, it was mental. I think that's where a big struggle comes in, is because it's an accepted standard, right? That's how we're supposed to act. We're supposed to get a job that does this. We're supposed to be, doing these things at this time. And why do we have to do those? Why do we have to do the same thing every day? We don't. And when I started to see Tom, and you start to realize that it is okay. That judgment and the people who say you're different, sometimes it's good, sometimes it's their issue. I was telling Tom is I went through this phase where I had to really justify. I had to justify with myself. And it was a step of growth. It ended up being a step of growth. There is no difference. It's just that society is so programmed, except going to church and doing this versus dancing under the moon if I wanted to. Yeah. I had big breakthroughs in, IT field. It's IT, right? I'm a director of IT. Never was my passion, to be honest with you. But what I realized that I really, really enjoyed was the leadership part of it, because I loved developing people. I loved being able to build those connections. That was the big part. And so whenever I really started to speak with Tom and really started embracing who I was, the leadership style completely changed. I got even better at what I was already good at. And I get to bring different things. Like when I walk into a meeting with my employees and they're all heightened and angry, frustrated, something's going on, we do a calming breath. We start the meeting that way. Completely changes the mood. I wouldn't have done that 5 years ago. I might have even joined in with, yeah, I can't believe they did that. It's completely different, and I do think that I will not retire an IT director because I feel like I have bigger or valued things that I have coming. 50. So there'll be different things. There's a lot of learning that came from focusing on, I'm stuck in a career, like you were saying, but I am embracing this now because I understand why I'm here, and now I'm bringing even more value to these people that I'm leading. I have now even a bigger place that I can share even the smallest part.